I see here in your office there's lots of posters about detoxification.
Okay,
I see that's a big thing that y'all that you focus on.
Okay.
So talk about detoxification. How important is detox in staying healthy, and is that something that you recommend for cancer patients?
Yes, it's one of the things that actually very important to help the patients. The detoxification basically is actually we want to remove if any substance that actually can block the enzymatic reactions that help the patients to recover, or the building blocks, the substance that building block inside the body, or the disruption of biochemistry and also disruptions of the hormones inside the body. For example, like mercury, we had to detoxify it. Otherwise, it's very difficult to heal the body with this blocker inside the body, which is actually they can trigger problems, and as well as they will suppress the immune system. So the most common cause I see among my patients, they actually have this mercury toxicity from this amalgam, especially those who have amalgam filling. Of course, I don't like to say this, but anyway, when I do the examination, of course I do further tests, I do see that they're having this mercury toxicity due to this amalgam fillings. So with that, of course their immune systems are low, so I would really tell them to do the detoxifications, including the heavy metal detoxification, so that they bring out the body in the good homeostasis, and also the immune system will be better off, so that they can fight with the disease.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah, so
it's a long-term strategy. Right.
Mercury amalgams, then the fillings.
Yes.
Mercury. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, we were in Taiwan and we talked to a dentist that mentioned that's one of the main reasons that some people get cancer.
Yeah.
Is the mercury in their fillings. So what do you recommend, that people remove their mercury fillings, or if they have mercury fillings, how do you detoxify the mercury in their system?
Usually, I will use this either the intravenous oral intravenous chelator agents like DMPS, or I use DMSA as the oral form, which is actually help the body to detoxify. Okay. Of course, you can use high dose vitamin C, as well as cilantro. Cilantro is one of the ways.
Cilantro?
Cilantro, yeah,
okay.
You call it cilantro.
Okay. Cilantro, also known as Chinese parsley, is a very frequently used natural chelating agent that will help you to detox heavy metals like aluminum and also lead and mercury. Now, DMPS, DMSA, and even EDTA, these are pretty standard treatments for removing heavy metals, even from a conventional perspective.
Here in Malaysia, our condition is because mainly we all doctors are actually trained in the conventional side. So we have, most of us actually believe that the conventional side actually can help us to help the patients. But when we see long enough, sometimes we also have problem in which the patients, the cancer comes back with after the conventional treatments. So and then we had to tackle all the side effects due to these conventional treatments, which our hands have very tight because we don't learn all these natural substance to help the patients. If we have the knowledge and the skills how to use this natural substance, as well as from diet therapy, all this way, for example, like ketogenic diet, which can help the patients to support the patients on top of the conventional therapy, I would say that we have much better success on the treatment of this cancer therapy, which can give more hope to the patients, and they can live even longer and have less side effect due to all these drugs that we give.
What are beta-glucans?
Beta-glucan is actually it's a type of proteins, actually polysaccharide. Actually, then you take inside, actually it increase the immune system from the bowel. So I don't know how to say, how to make it. So it actually communicate with the immune system, so the immune system goes up, and then it go and kill the cancer cell. And
beta-glucans are found in mushrooms, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
This is where the beta-glucan from the mushroom. Of course, there are other things like linseed extract, which actually can use, which is still now currently people are studying on it. Yeah. Actually, can use to treat the pancreatic cancer as well as lung cancer, which is actually a very new field of herbs extract compounds, which actually can help patients.
Any connection with mitochondria in cancer that you're aware of?
Yes, mitochondria actually is, as we know, actually. Cancer is actually a metabolic disease. Cancer is related to hypoxic problem in the intracellular, especially what it happens in the this mitochondria. What is mitochondria? Mitochondria basically is an organelle that actually in every cell, which actually help to produce energy. The energy is called ATP. By using this Krebs cycle, it means oxygen usage, which break down the sugar to form ATP, the energy. So if they have a defect or they have this degenerative of this organelle, mitochondria, so what happens is the cell will shift to use glycolysis, means fermentations method to produce energy inside the cell. This is what happened to cancer cell. The cancer cell actually they shift, or probably the genetic or the environmental is actually not good. They shift their metabolism to this way to produce energy, so that they can grow very fast and then multiply more. Mitochondrial disease is related to cancer formations. And why this thing can happen is because of this chronic inflammation within the cell itself. The cytoplasm environmental is actually not good, lead them to use a lot of this fermentation method to produce energy, end up they have formed this cancer cell formations.
Could that be one of the reasons that the ketogenic diet is helpful with cancer patients?
Yes,
because you're not
definitely
providing the sugar.
Yes, don't providing the sugar, then that's why we use the fat to help to control the cancer. Yes.
Dr. Lee mentioned ATP, the Krebs cycle, mitochondria, and cancer being a metabolic disease. This is reminiscent of the profound section of The Truth About Pet Cancer, where Dr. Joseph Mercola explained some vital information about cause and effect, as well as Dr. Seyfried discussing whether cancer is actually genetic or if it's caused by damage to the mitochondria, and also discussed ketosis, which is burning fat for fuel rather than sugar.
When you're burning fat for fuel, you create a special type of water-soluble fat called ketones. And ketones easily permeate into the brain and all the cellular tissue. They don't need a carrier to go through. And the great thing about ketones is that they burn very efficiently. And they don't create much reactive oxygen species, which can cause a secondary free radical, which is what causes the damage. It's these free radicals that will cause single and double-stranded DNA breaks. Not in the mitochondria, they cause them in the mitochondria because that's where most of the free radicals are created, but then secondarily they cause it in the DNA, which causes the genetic damage that nearly every conventional physician believes is the cause of cancer. And nothing could be further from the truth. Cancer very rarely has a genetic component. There is genetic damage, no question, but it's mediated by metabolic damage that causes secondarily the DNA damage or genetic damage.
Driven by a dogma. The dogma is that cancer is a genetic disease that must be treated along these lines. So there's a dogmatic view of what this disease actually is. And once that dogma starts to fragment, you're going to start to see an opening of these alternative approaches that are non-toxic, that are ultimately going to be more successful than what's been done currently. And we have evidence to support this. It's hard to get funding for this work. It's, oh, what do you mean? The NIH isn't interested. The NIH thinks cancer is a genetic disease. Everybody on the review panel thinks cancer is a genetic disease. If it's if they say, oh yeah, metabolism is very important in cancer, but the genes are causing the abnormal metabolism. No, it's the abnormal metabolism, the genes. The genes are in effect, they're not the cause of this whole thing. Oh my God, you're telling me my whole worldview is upside down. And the answer is yes, it is, it's upside down. And look at the 1,600 dead people a day in the United States. That's the result of your upside down view of the disease. Look at the board of Susan Komen breast cancer. Every one of the people, the scientists on the board of Susan Komen, thinks that cancer is a genetic disease. How do we know? Because we look at their publications. They're looking at gene mutations. Irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It doesn't make any sense. Consequently, more people get cancer and more people die. It's all in the textbooks. It's on the website of the National Cancer Institute. Cancer is a genetic disease. I have about 20 books here. Cancer is a genetic disease. So we indoctrinate physicians and scientists to read these textbooks and then go out and start studying all these mutations. We have the Broad Institute down here, $100 million institute studying mutations in cancer. It's irrelevant. Doesn't mean anything. Hard to say. It's terrible to say that in such a few words, that most of that is nonsense. It's not going to work because it's not a genetic disease. They screen millions of cancer mutations, and there's so many, it becomes mind-boggling to even comprehend how many defects they found in cancer cells. So to help out, they bring in the IBM computer called Watson. You know, he can win Jeopardy, he's the best chess player in the world, he can store massive amounts of data. So they bring that instrument down there to try to help people comprehend all the mutations. The problem is, no one told Watson that cancer is not a genetic disease, that it's a metabolic disease. The machine is a mindless instrument. It doesn't have the functional brain cells to know garbage in, garbage out, right? So consequently, the poor machine, right, is not that smart.
That is profound. Modern doctors tell us that cancer is genetic, but we just heard that genetic damage can actually be the result and not the cause of damaged mitochondria and DNA. And a clean, healthy, ketogenic diet has been shown to be very effective with many cancers. But there's no silver bullet. Let's go back to Dr. Lee's interview in Malaysia.
You know, one method can treat all the disease, okay? Even for the cancer. So it should be those good things from each field of the medicine should put together, and then it should be, by right, should be like this. I would say that if can, I wish to see this happen. The naturopathic doctors sit down together, the conventional doctors sit down together, Western-based doctors sit down together, and then the nutritionists sit down together, dietitians sit down together, so, and the homeopathic physicians sit down together. We discuss the case and how we can help the patients to get the best out of all of us, the method that actually we can help the patient. Whatever we can to help the patient so that they can get out of this problem. So I would say that the integrated medicine should be this way to help the patients so that they can get the treatment and they get the best out of it, so they can get the best outcome. I wish to see that, of course, but I work hard for that as well.
We do too. That's what,
yeah.
that's what we wish too, because
yes,
that's why we're on this
in my bottom of my heart, really, I want to see if Ayurvedic doctors sit down together. We discuss. Doctors like Dr. Tommy come here, and then we discuss how we can help the patients in many ways, so that we are selfless to help the patient in order to get the best, so that the patient recover from the problem.
Folks, I'd have to agree with Dr. Lee. That's what everyone's after. That's what we're after with the Truth About Cancer. That's what Dr. Lee is shooting for. And that's what a lot of the doctors on this Asian journey thus far have shared with us, is that we should just have the freedom, the doctors should have the freedom to do what's best for their patients.
Yes.
Right?
I really agree with you.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
I agree with you. So thank you. Appreciate the interview.
Yes.